In case you were wondering how some of the other lawsuits Donald Trump has filed over the years, over the months, whatever it is, because we've talked a lot recently about Donald Trump's failed legal challenges to the 2020 election, but those aren't the only lawsuits the guy has going on right now. In fact, he had one against CNN that just yesterday went down in flames. This was a libel suit that he and his lawyers had filed against CNN, alleging that an opinion columnist by the name of Larry Noble to the CNN website had libeled Donald Trump shortly after the release of the Mueller report, so that's how far back this lawsuit goes, by saying, quote, "The Trump campaign assessed the potential risks and benefits of again seeking Russia's help in 2020 and has decided to leave that option on the table." It was that statement, according to the lawsuit that was filed by Trump's lawyers, that led to the libel. And they said in their lawsuit, this is false. The guy stated this as fact, and he did it with malice, with actual malice. And they knew to include that in the complaint because that's actually one of the things you have to be able to prove in a libel lawsuit, especially against a politician, because the threshold for them being able to sue for libel is so much higher than an average person. So they decided, well, if we put actual malice in there, of course the judge is going to say yes because we put the word in there. We don't have to prove it if we just say it. And the judge in the ruling said, you didn't give any proof. What am I supposed to do here? You say it was done with malice, and then you literally didn't show me how it was done with malice. Now, CNN, on the other hand, had tried to argue that, hey, you can't take what this guy says as fact. He's an opinion columnist. And the judge said, okay, that's also a stupid argument. I'm not buying that one either. But luckily for you, these guys didn't provide any proof. So you were allowed, judge says, you can refile the case. Absolutely. If you get proof that it was done with malice, that the guy intentionally lied to hurt Donald Trump. Now listen, this is a pretty outrageous statement that the guy made. You cannot prove this, and it was stated in such a way as to appear as fact. Now, I agree with what the CNN opinion columnist, Larry Noble, I agree with what he wrote, though. I think most of us do. And that's because, as the Mueller report pointed out, and as Mueller pointed out in his press conference, that's basically what happened. We know that Russia did, in fact, interfere in the 2016 election. That's not disputed. That's laid out in the Mueller report. We do know they were seeking to interfere again in 2020. And we do know that Donald Trump and his administration did nothing to discourage that kind of interference in 2020. Now, acknowledging those things does not make you a Russiagate conspiracy theorist. It makes you somebody who understands what a fact is. Because unlike some of the other folks in the Democratic side, I don't see Russia every time I close my eyes, right? There is a fine line between, say, your Glenn Greenwalds and your Rachel Maddow's, about on the opposite side of the spectrum. Rachel Maddow says Russia, Russia, Russia. Glenn Greenwald says Russia's, not involved in anything. And the truth is actually somewhere in between those. Russia's done some bad things. But Russia's not behind every bad thing in the United States, nor have they been very successful in the few things they have attempted here in the United States. And speaking of unsuccessful, this lawsuit filed by the president is also likely to not go anywhere in the future because, again, if you're going to come out of the gate and say a guy did something with malice, you have to back it up. But as we've seen over the past week with Donald Trump's election fraud lawsuits, finding evidence and presenting evidence in court isn't exactly the forte of the lawyers that Donald Trump seems to pick.